And one of the things he says, and he's, again, made a lot of money selling to big companies. He said, don't be too humble. If you're a salesperson, don't be too humble. And, see the other person at the other side as your equal, no matter what their title is. And I have a story I've told before here. You might not have watched every show, about a friend of mine who is a fantastic recruiter. And, you wouldn't think he had any ego problems or anything like that, but he became a recruiter when he was in his early 20s. And yet he was I think, working with software engineers or some kind of engineers. And he was talking with directors in the company, the client companies, and he would feel intimidated. Who am I? This guy's my father's age, and he's director, and I'm a nobody. I'm a young nobody. And he found that what worked for him was he knew he couldn't work that way anymore. It was just too, it screwed him up. So he decided to call everybody by their first name. Okay. He might have been 22. The other guy might have been 50. And, a director of the company, he was still Bill or Mary or Jane or whatever. Okay. And he found that helped a lot. It took away his bad nerves. Now, when I met him, he's not nervous. Okay. Yeah. I can't imagine him being nervous to anybody. Okay. So he succeeded. And I don't think it's his nature to be nervous, really, but he told me he was, and that this is the solution he chose. Now, there's going to be people who try to lord it over you with their position. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. How would you deal with them? You call him Bill and he says it's Mr. Jones. Okay. But then don't let him call you Sam or Mary or Jane or whatever your name is. If he's Mr. Jones, you're Mr. Smith, okay? Or Ms. Carstairs or whatever you want it to be, okay? Ms. Burns, whatever it is. I see in TV shows and movies, the staff members, they call the boss Mr. or Ms. or whatever, and the boss calls them first names. Oh, Steve, get that for me. Steve, can you do that? Okay. Yes, Mr. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's like it's the military. I maybe that kind of thing is necessary in the military, where the enlisted men and women, they salute the officers and call them sir or ma'am, but I don't think that's good in regular life. Okay. I once went to a doctor, in fact, a number of times, with a family member who was having some serious problems. And, he didn't want to let me in to help with the explanation of the problem. It would have helped a lot because this guy accomplished nothing. Okay. So let me preface it by saying he didn't do good work. Okay. Or at least he might think he did good work, but it was certainly not effective. It was useless. And, when he finally let me in for 5 minutes to talk, he said, can I call you by your first name? I said, what do you want me to call you? He said, Dr. So-and-so. Okay. I said, well, no, you call me Mr. Okay. Mr. Animal. Why? Well, he was younger than me. Okay. We're in a hospital. I know he's a doctor. Why do I have to say it every time I talk to him? I don't make him call me headhunter. Who cares? Okay. Yes, doctor. Oh, thank you, doctor. What's the point? I know he's a doctor. Okay. It's just his job. His mother can call him doctor. I'm sure she's very proud of him and thinks he's God's gift to the world, even though I tell you he was useless. And we went to another doctor who's, all the credentials on the internet. Okay. And while my family member was talking, he was looking at his BlackBerry to check his email. These guys they're not gods. Okay. They're human. They sometimes think, they only think of the wonderful work they're doing for humanity, or the people who you tell them how wonderful they are, like their parents. I don't know, especially like the other guy was young. Okay. Oh, my son, the doctor, we know that story, but she doesn't canvass his patience. Okay. To find out what it's really like. So my point is, these guys aren't so great. You don't have to call them. You don't have to call them like they're kings or queens or something like that. In fact, I have to tell you, we've got a king here now. We had a queen. And, I often thought if I had a chance to meet the queen, I might feel uncomfortable with all that protocol. They're just people. In fact, since I watched The Crown, which the first few seasons I actually enjoyed, especially the first one. Um, there, I don't. I never opposed the monarchy, and that's how this country was founded. With lots of people have ties to it. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it anymore either. I mean, I always sort of was kind of neutral, but this is irrelevant. You don't care. But it's kind of related to that. These are ordinary people. You might have to call someone a queen or king or your highness, but behind it, who are they? Okay. Your next door neighbor or your mom or dad might be better people than them.